Animated Anarchy series presents the Animated Showdown.
All right, what's up, everybody? We're here. It is, well, if you're listening to this, on the day it drops, it's Wednesday afternoon. We are on your lunch break with you. If you're having a horrible day, I don't know if we're going to make it any better. But we'll go ahead and we'll try. If you are a fan of any of the cartoons that are probably going to lose here, then no, your day's not going to get better. But all right, this is Animated Showdown. This is episode 3. And this is part of the Animated Anarchy series. I am, of course, your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Sean.
Hello.
And the wild card, Dave.
Let's get it.
We are actually recording this on the weekend of Eric's birthday, so he is not here. So he turned the big 4-0. So he turned 40, so, and his brother was coming into town, so, and I'm not going to knock him too much. I'll wait and do that later on in a text message. But so he's not here, so I am judging today. So, good Lord. So, all right. Today's matches are Garfield and Friends versus Mummies Alive, Danny Phantom versus One Piece, C.O.P.S versus Police Academy, the animated series, and your main event is Naruto Shippuden versus the Simpsons. All right. So we have 11 categories in the randomizer here, which I am going to pull up.
I got my handy dandy pen out. Let's get it.
All right. So everybody can see the screen, right?
Yep.
All right. So your 11 categories that we are choosing from here: memorable moments, theme song, animation style, character development, originality, overall enjoyment, voice acting, merchandise, fan base, cultural impact, and humor. The first 5 that pop up after I hit the randomizer, those are the ones that are going to be for the episode. This is really, some of these battles are really going to be category driven. The result is going to depend on what the categories are. I know Dave was hoping that we have the same exact categories that we had on Animated Hour of Power. Let's see if he gets it. So, everybody ready for me to hit the button?
Yep.
Good.
All right. And, all right, 3 out of 5, Dave. So, theme song, character development, voice acting, which was not an Animated Hour of Power, cultural impact, and memorable moments. All right, Dave, how do you feel?
I feel pretty damn good about this.
All right. So, all right, we'll see how it goes. But the first battle right now is Garfield and Friends versus Mummies Alive. So, all right. So, obviously, I give the little intro. Then we each pick who we think wins the category. If a show wins 3-0, it's a sweep. They get 30 points. 3-1, you get 20. 3-2, you get 10, and the loser gets 5. And then, if you are swept, you lose 10 points. Animated Hour of Power, it happened to Teen Titans Go and Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? So, already, 2 for the week. Let's see. Our record is 3. So we'll see if we surpass that record. But, all right. Garfield and Friends versus Mummies Alive. Garfield and Friends is in the division of Stephanie Cano. Mummies Alive is in the division of my Aunt Lisa Skelly. So, all right. Theme song, which is actually appropriate that we're starting off with this category because it's the first thing you hear when a show comes on the air.
Yes, sir.
Garfield's theme song changed. It was a show tune at first for the first couple of seasons. Then it turned into more of a catchy theme. Mummies Alive also has a catchy theme. I personally think it sounds too much like the theme song from another show called Creepy Crawlers. But both really good themes. Dave, I'm going to start with you.
I'm gonna go with Garfield and Friends here. I just thought it was. I liked it a little better. I wasn't really a big fan of Mummies Alive. It like before you said that, I was thinking like this theme song sounds like something else I've already heard. Um, so before you even said that, like, but I didn't know where it came from. Thank you for
Right.
telling me where it came from. Where they kind of mimicked. But yeah, I wasn't like it had a nice little beat there, but that was the only good thing about their theme song. Besides that, I wasn't really a fan of it. So.
I definitely can see that. But Sean, I'm going to go to you next.
I'm going with Garfield. Just a lot better than Mummies Alive was, and got me more interested in the show for sure.
Right.
So, the Mummies one wasn't bad. I didn't like it as much.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that's just how it goes sometimes. Like Garfield, again, it was a lot more catchy. I also am going with Garfield on this one. So it wins the first category, which I kind of figured it would, because the theme song's just better. Like I said, like Mummies Alive was good. It's just when it's never good to copy another theme song.
No, you got to have your own sound.
Yeah, which this didn't.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now we go to character development. Garfield is, you have three segments in a cartoon. You have Garfield open it up, then you have the and friends part, the barnyard animals. Then you have him close it. There's not really much of a story. So the characters can't really develop. Mummies Alive, the story is that the ancient prince Rapses is reincarnated into a boy named Presley. And the mummies from the exhibit who were supposed to protect Presley back in the day are now back to protect him. While the Scarab, who was the villain back in the day, is there to try to destroy him. So each episode is the mummies trying to protect him, Scarab trying to, to destroy him. Can't say kill because never said the word kill in a cartoon. Until South Park was created. But
Gotta love South Park.
Huh? Gotta
love South Park.
Yeah, they'll be on in a few weeks, I'm sure. I know. I definitely have them coming up. So this one, Mummies Alive, had more story to it. Therefore, you could make the argument they had more time to develop. So I actually went with Mummies Alive on this one. Sean?
I agree with you, Doug. I'm going with the Mummies on this one. I think the only character growth you would see in Garfield is his relationship towards Otis, the dog, or Odie, or whatever the heck his name is.
Yeah.
But like in the Mummies, you see the growth of the prince and everything that's going on around him a lot more because they can do more with the story behind it.
Right.
And it's just more interesting.
Right. All right. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Mummies here. I feel like it was a little more episodic. It had more evolving relationships and a little more emotional arcs, where Garfield was primarily like comedic character traits.
Yeah.
With minimal character narrative growth, but there was a little bit. I can't fault it for having none, but it did have some. But I think Mummies got it here.
Okay. All right. So 1-1. So there will be no sweep in this one. Next category is voice acting. The voice of Garfield did an amazing job. Lorenzo Music. He's a very talented voice actor who has also voiced. He voiced Tummy from the Gummy Bears. We talked about them on Animated Hour of Power. They got themselves a victory. He also voiced Peter Venkman on Real Ghostbusters, who last week on Animated Hour of Power on the second episode, they got a sweep. So, he does an amazing job. The other voice actors do an amazing job. But also on Mummies Alive, like the characters really, obviously the characters come to life in a literal sense.
Yeah.
The mummies do. But I feel like the voice acting in both shows is done very well, and there's a lot of emotion put. I mean, there may be more emotion put into like Mummies Alive because of the story, but I do think both shows did very well in voice acting. Dave, go ahead.
I'm solely picking this because of Lorenzo Music.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Garfield and Friends here. I think he became a voice that's inseparable from Garfield's character. That really made Garfield what Garfield is. So I have to go with that voice acting here. If you can make a character really pop out that much, and your voice, like people hear that voice and they're like, "That's Garfield." Like you're not hearing that with Mummy. Like you know what I'm saying. So for that alone, I have to go with Garfield here.
Right. All right, Sean, go ahead.
I agree with you. I agree with Dave. Everything you just said. Like you hear that voice and you know exactly who it is. I think just in the difference between the two is in Mummies there is more of a variety of different voice acting.
Yeah,
but just
they had versatile talent for sure.
Yeah. But Garfield, I think, is just so memorable from the one guy voicing him.
All right, so this is the one time that we're all going to be in sync here because we all basically have the same reason for picking this, which is the voice of Garfield. Because that's exactly my reasoning too. That's what I wrote down was Lorenzo Music, the guy who voiced Garfield. I mean, he is more known for voicing Garfield than he is for the other characters that I mentioned. Now, he did a really good job with those other characters, don't get me wrong.
But he perfected Garfield.
Yeah, he perfected. Yeah, it's what you say. He perfected Garfield. And by the way, the Garfield voice was actually of the three that I mentioned, this and the other two. He got this gig last. So, but this is the one that he perfected. So, all right, Garfield wins this category. They're up 2-1. One more, and the battle is over, and they're going to win 3-1, and they're going to get 20 points. This is not really the best category for Mummies Alive to come back in because it's cultural impact.
It's over. It's already over, Doug. We know it.
Bye-bye.
Here's the thing, and I'm not that I'm really trying to sway anybody because I really don't have a horse in it. Well, actually, I kind of do because my aunt actually has Mummies Alive. But just to kind of here's the thing about Mummies Alive: it's a good cartoon, but it's only remembered by a niche audience.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing.
If
more people know Garfield than they would Mummies if you ask them.
Because you can go to like a retro toy store and there's one in Barrington, New Jersey called House of Fun, which actually sells Mummies Alive figures. And you pick up the figure if you buy the figure, and they are they do have value to them. And you look at it and think what's this? And then you find out it's a cartoon, and then you start watching. It's like, all right, this is pretty good because it is a very good cartoon. But it doesn't have the cultural impact that Garfield does because Garfield and Lorenzo Music had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So, am I just writing down Garfield across the board here?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It's undoubtedly had more impact.
Yeah.
Man. My hands are starting to sweat.
Because we're getting closer.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yeah,
close
we
to
are.
Naruto getting swept.
Now
Yeah,
hold
right,
on with the cat. Now,
Yo.
but here's the thing. First of all, I think he's just messing with you. Second of all, like, it really is going to depend on the categories. Now, I'm not really going to give anything away because this is our main event. But there are some where at least Dave and I are probably going to disagree. Which is fine because that makes for a better episode. Now we're not going to scream at each other.
No, we just state our opinions and why we think what we think, and
Now it's going to sound like I'm screaming because my voice is very loud. But be that as it may, there might be some disagreements. Now with this next battle, Danny Phantom versus One Piece.
Same here.
I don't know if there's going to be a lot of disagreements here. Now, it starts off with theme song. And again, like I think I don't know if I said this on the last episode or if I said this off air, but like I kind of went into One Piece thinking that all right, I kind of hope I don't like this just so I can piss Dave off. But the theme song kind of hooked me in.
Yup.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's actually very well done for an anime theme song. And there have been some good ones, like Cowboy Bebop was okay.
Yeah, it was jazzy. It was jazzy.
But One Piece was good. Danny Phantom, the whole Gotta Catch 'Em All thing, we heard that, another cartoon made Gotta Catch 'Em All very famous.
Yep.
And it was not Danny Phantom.
No, it was not.
Okay. So, Dave, I know where you're going, but I'm starting with you anyway.
I'm going with the One Piece. I feel like their intro is more catchy. I feel like it's original, and it really brings you more into the show than what Danny Phantom's theme song does. Like Danny's theme song isn't terrible, but it's not completely sounding original, and it's not the best.
It's a ripoff of Pokemon.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, not the beat, but the words.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty much.
Sean, where are you going here?
One Piece. Solely because Danny Phantom thought they would be sly and try to steal Pokemon's thunder.
Didn't work.
Did not work.
It's probably because they didn't have an electric type Pokemon.
Yeah.
God
knows they're a ripoff of Green Lantern. Cough on cough.
Yeah. All right. So also, I should point out that Danny Phantom, representing the division of Joey Bianco, who I believe already has a victory under his belt with another cartoon or with another show. One Piece representing the division of Mark Ritchie, who had a very bad main event on Animated Hour of Power when Scooby-Doo got swept. I think he's going to be okay on this one.
We should get a little broom animation for like you hit like 2 when a team gets swept and it just goes across the screen.
Yeah. We got to talk to Eric about that.
I don't even know if you can. So
I don't either. I mean, Whammy does. The Press Your Luck, the game show, they have it, but they're probably a lot more talented than we are. And they're paid a lot more. Because I don't pay you guys anything.
We're getting paid? Last I knew, I gave you money.
But anyway, all right. So One Piece wins this category. 2 away from a sweep. Character development. So, all right. One Piece, you see the adventures of Monkey D. Luffy or Luffy or Lufa or whatever.
Luffy,
So,
Luffy, however you want to pronounce it,
yeah.
is fine with me.
So he, and he wants to become this great pirate, and he's assembling a team, and you really see him develop. And you see Zoro, one of the guys he ends up recruiting, develop.
Zoro is so dope of a character.
Yeah. And then the girl, and I think I'm like 7-8 episodes in. Obviously, I do want to watch more because this is very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
The girl's Tommy or Tammy, or it's spelled Tammy, but I think it's pronounced a different way. You see a lot of development from her because she starts off as somebody who's just ripping off other people,
Right.
which, by the way, is what pirates do.
Yep.
But you see a lot of development in her when she becomes part of the team. Danny Phantom, I don't know if there's a lot of development there. I mean, you can kind of see like Danny, because Danny's father wants to become this big, he's a ghost hunter and he wants to capture all these ghosts, not knowing that his son can turn into one.
Right.
So, just for character development, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go first. And I got to pick One Piece on this one. Sean?
One Piece.
All right.
I do not think Danny Phantom has. It's just another cartoon. It's just like, slap. Here you go. This is who you get. This is who he is.
Right.
Never really changes.
All right. Dave, I think I already know, but say it anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm going with One Piece here. The character development in this show. I mean, like you said, you see it just in the first couple episodes. I mean, wait until you get into farther seasons there, Doug. There's stupendous growth in this show. So, and you get to see villains and other characters grow as well, not just the main character. So, there's a ton of growth in this show, and I think it blows Danny Phantom out of the water in this category.
Okay. All right. So the next category could very well be the last category, voice acting. The dub version, obviously, of One Piece. And the voice acting in there is very good, and they give a lot of emotion to the characters. But, and this is where, and I understand that I'm probably in the minority here, but I'm going with Danny Phantom just because I feel like the voices kind of match the personalities of what the characters are supposed to be.
Okay.
So I feel like now it's One Piece obviously did a phenomenal job, but Danny Phantom, I feel like the characters, like the voices really matched what these characters are.
Okay.
So, now, am I disappointed that I'm going to be the only one that feels that way? No. What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't Ninja Turtles. But Dave, you go first.
I'm going with One Piece here. I think they did a great job with the voice casting here. In the acting, the battle scenes where they're really putting in emphasis, and I really think they did a great, fantastic job with their voice acting here. So, and Danny Phantom, I mean, it had decent voice acting, but I got to give it to One Piece.
Okay. All right, Sean, finish it off.
Remember what you did to me last week, Dave?
No, it's because you did it first, dog.
I'm going with One Piece. I agree with what you brought up about Danny Phantom being very relatable to the character, but I don't feel like past that there wasn't anywhere to grow with the voice acting, and there wasn't as much range as there was in One Piece. Especially like when Dave said in the fighting scenes, they're really laying it down.
Yeah.
But again, like the genres of the show, Danny Phantom's kind of like a combat-ish cartoon, but it's still just like a cartoon compared to One Piece being an anime that, is more known to be combative, if that makes any sense.
All right.
I feel like there's more emphasis in the battle scenes. Like Danny Phantom is just like,
Danny Phantom's more like of a laid back kind of similar style to a bunch of other shows like him. I also like, I don't know, it always reminded me of like Green Lantern. The Green Lantern.
Right.
And it just threw me off. So, but One Piece all day. So
all
much
right.
more variety.
Yeah, there's so many more characters too
Mm-hmm.
that have distinguished voices and stuff. So
I just think the style of the show is the reason why that one wins this category.
I mean, fair enough. And so One Piece sweeps. I don't think anybody. I know Dave had no doubt.
Swept.
Now, obviously, this week so far, this is the third sweep of the week, and we've usually done that. Now we got 2 battles left. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that there's not gonna be a sweep. I know Dave would like there to be in the main event, but we're gonna see. But it's almost crunch time. But before we get there, we have C.O.P.S versus Police Academy, the animated series. C.O.P.S in the division, or representing the division of Mark McGee. Police Academy representing the division of Kenneth Williams III. All right, theme song. Now, I put this match together because they're 2 C.O.P.S cartoons. I mean, one is called C.O.P.S, the other one's called Police Academy. But they're both about, like, the police force. And what's funny is that, like, you have the serious side, kind of, which is C.O.P.S, and you have the bumbling buffoons that portray the characters from the movies in Police Academy.
mm-hmm.
But theme song, so you have C.O.P.S with, like, the intro, saying what they were, and then they had a little bit of the theme song, and then you have, like, the action sequences where they talk about the episodes. But Police Academy has a really catchy song, and they have their action sequence. So I'm starting with you, Dave.
Yeah, this one is kind of tough. But I have to go with the Police Academy here. I like the little vibe it has. It's kind of uppity. Kind of gets you a little excited. So I gotta go with their theme song here.
Okay. All right, Sean.
I agree. I like the Police Academy theme song a lot more. It was funnier.
Yeah. Now, I struggled with a lot of the categories in this battle because I personally like both shows. This category wasn't one of them because I felt like Police Academy did a better job at kind of reeling you into wanting to watch a show with their theme song, which is what the theme song is supposed to do.
Yep.
All right. Character development. This one's kind of hard because with C.O.P.S they're going over like different cases, and it's like, they're solving different cases. So like they're kind of developing, but it's also just like, it's almost like in Scooby-Doo when it was just, and we talked about it on Animated Hour of Power this past weekend, when like Scooby-Doo, it was like, it might've been different mystery, but it was also same objective. In Police Academy, it was kind of the same thing where it's just like Captain Harris trying to bust the academy recruits, or trying to bust the graduates from the academy. Him failing, him succeeding like at first, but usually they fail not because he was able to successfully sabotage him, but because he trips falling into the room. Because Harris, even though like he's the villain, he's a bigger idiot than all of them.
Yeah.
So he's that bumbling villain, even though technically he's also a police officer. But he's got this grudge with Mahoney. So I feel like both shows do have room for development. Personally, I think Police Academy developed more, so that's who I'm picking. But Sean, will go to you.
No, I agree. I think Police Academy had more growth in their show than Cops did.
Okay.
And I think having them portraying characters from the movies helped a lot. So
Right. All right, Dave.
I don't think either show had substantial character growth.
Right.
But I disagree with you guys. I'm going with Cops on here. I think it had slightly more growth and development for the characters. Just a little bit, not much. I just believe neither of them really had much growth in characters here. But that's my opinion.
Right. Now, if I would have known that, if I would have kind of seen that in your face, I would have had you go second.
Fair enough.
But I mean, it's a fair assessment, though. By the way,
Yeah.
Because character for shows like these, character development might not be the best category.
Yeah.
But it also helps when like they're both like they don't necessarily show the growth, but it's like you have to pick one over the other.
Yeah, it was definitely tough.
All right. Police Academy's up 2-0. One more, they get a sweep. And they get 30 points. Which I kind of hate seeing that happen to Cops, even though I do like Police Academy, but I like both shows. So to me, it's kind of just like, but all right, voice acting. Now, none of the actors from the movies voice the characters in the movie, but I feel like there's like they have a lot of emotion in those voices. And like, what's the word I use here? But like there's a lot of emotion that they put into it, and I feel like Cops' voice acting was pretty like dry to a point. I mean, I still think they did a good job. Like I think the guy who voiced Bulletproof was fantastic, and Big Boss was like, yeah, see, like, you know, I thought that, you know, he did well there. And Berserko, you know, the guy who voiced Berserko, really making Berserko out to be a schmuck, but you know, or a villain that like he kind of, it almost like they kind of ripped off Ninja Turtles with how they portrayed Berserko, because he's kind of like the combination of Bebop and Rocksteady. And like that's how his voice actor kind of portrays it. But Sean, what say you? We'll let you go first.
I'm sticking with Police Academy on this one. I think you hit the nail right on the head with the emotion part that they give, and I was just a lot better in my opinion. I feel like they tried to really portray the characters that they were playing in a sense.
Right. All right. So Sean goes Police Academy. Dave, what say you?
I'm actually on the opposite side of Sean here. I'm going with Cops. I think they were a little more versatile and more polished and a little more nuanced. I felt like the Police Academy cartoon was more comedic and more exaggerated deliveries.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, that makes shows pop out in their own way. But I think Cops were a little more versatile actors here, voice actors.
All right. And, you know, I agree with what you said, but that's actually the reason why I'm picking Police Academy, because I just like how it was done that way.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it's your preference and like what you like. Like I do understand, like Cops did get dry in some spots, but yeah, I understand why you picked the Police Academy.
Yeah, because it's just more like I feel like, you know, because it's a spoof. I mean, it matches the movie.
Yeah.
So
totally understand.
I feel like, and again, but I do agree with your point. But again, that's kind of what made me veer towards Police Academy.
Fair enough.
All right, so we have another sweep. Police Academy wins it 3-0. So 30 points for Police Academy, -10 for Cops. I hate to see it because I do like the Cops cartoon. But you look like you're about ready to have a heart attack, Dave.
I am.
Like, oh my God. So now the big question is, how bad is Sean going to screw with you?
I don't know. I hope he doesn't. I hope he sticks to what is true and not just fuck with Dave. Pardon my language. I take that back. Don't mess with Dave. I hope he doesn't, just do that, just to do that.
All those times I asked you to play Rome with me this week, and you haven't even responded. It's gonna come to haunt you.
Hey, I've been a busy man this week.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just toying with you.
All right. So
I'm gonna be 100, but I'll be honest.
Yeah, just be honest.
yeah, and that's the thing. Is that like it's really no like screwing with anybody here. It's honest opinions. And by the way, if we agree on everything, this show would be boring.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
the thing is, and I'm not knocking Eric because he actually did the shorts. He completed the shorts in a pretty good amount of time for Animated Hour of Power, so I'm not going to knock him too much. But sometimes I feel like he agrees with people because he can kind of be like intimidated because he doesn't want to be like the odd man out. I don't care if I'm the odd man out.
Right, same.
So yeah, because like in this last battle, you were the odd man out in 2 categories, one of which you went last, but you're still just like, well, I still think you guys are wrong. I lost the category, but you guys are wrong. But it's just like it's a lot more fun. Again, and it's not going to be like we're not all going to be mad at each other and we're going to end up on an episode of Divorce Court where we're trying to divvy up who gets the podcast. But like it's going to be one of those to where it's just like there's going to be some like I sure like you really want to go that way because you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the main event here is Naruto Shippuden versus The Simpsons. Naruto Shippuden in the division of Kenny Lehman. The Simpsons in the division of my brother Daniel. Kenny Lehman last week on I believe it was actually on last week's episode of Animated Showdown because I think he did he had shows 2 shows on that particular episode. Super Mario World got 20 points. As did Spider-Man the Animated Series. So he has not lost yet. His cartoons have not lost yet. Now he still has Chowder, and we'll see how that goes. But Naruto Shippuden versus The Simpsons, who was, of course, part of the Cartoon Classic, they made it to the semifinal. The opening category is theme song. Simpsons is the orchestra, the orchestra theme song, and it's always been very well done. I think they've won awards for it. Now, here's the thing about Naruto Shippuden is that their theme song changed. Okay? From the episodes that I was watching. It was a very catchy theme song. It was a very good theme song. And then they just went into something more generic with words that I could not understand. So for me personally, and I'll go first on this one, because of the change, I have to go with The Simpsons. I felt like if Naruto would have stayed with the theme song they had, yes, they would have won the category. But because of the change and because Simpsons theme song never changed, I'm going with The Simpsons. I know you disagree, and that's fine. So go ahead with your reasoning.
Oh yeah, I'm totally on the other side of this. I think if you watch Naruto all the way through, they change up their theme songs quite often. They have quite a few different ones, and they're all iconic in their own way.
You cut out.
I think all the theme songs for Naruto Shippuden are all phenomenal.
Okay.
They switch it out, but they've done that all the way through their whole, even before Shippuden and Naruto. That's what they did. They would do a little bit of this theme song, then they would change it up to another theme song and change it up to another one. And they have some of the most iconic theme songs out there, and some of the best. I mean, you can look it up and Google it and all that stuff yourself. They have some very popular theme songs, and people will take their songs and play them on piano and stuff and go out and make videos and stuff like that for it. I don't see anybody going out and playing the Simpsons theme song.
Right, which is fair, but also to kind of just like piggyback off your point a little bit. To me, even though like they still like watching it all the way through and seeing all the theme songs, like they keep changing it, I would still vote for the Simpsons because
of the change.
It was consistent. Okay, I'm not saying that the Naruto stuff. I'm not saying that like none of them are iconic. I'm just saying is that like because the Simpsons was consistent. To me, that's what made them better. But that just might be me. Sean, you got to break the first tie here.
I just want to say Bluebird is in Shippuden, and that's a very popular song. That's the intro, the third opening per season.
Okay.
I picked The Simpsons. Solely because, the longevity of it. They do change their theme songs very slightly. They don't change the beat or the da-da-da-da. But like for a Halloween special episode, they'll make it a spooky version of their theme song. They'll make a Christmas version of their theme song, or at least they used to. But like even in the video games, it's the same. And I just really like The Simpsons, so I got to go with The Simpsons.
Okay.
Though I do agree that Naruto has really great intro songs, and it is smart on them to, change it up once in a while, not to, try to not be so relevant, and like repetitive, I should say.
Right, and that's fine. Like we wanted because we talked earlier on about Garfield. They had a theme song that was a show tune. They went into something that was a little more catchy.
Mm-hmm.
From what I saw, because again, you have a week and you have all these cartoons you have to watch, so you only give yourself like a limited amount of time. From what I saw, Naruto Shippuden went from a really good theme song to I think they went down in quality a little bit.
In the second one, yes, I agree. But once you get past that second theme song, Bluebird comes in, and that's their most iconic theme song.
And that's fine. But I didn't get there. Like I got to like I think it was like episode 50 or something like that of Shippuden, where they change into the theme song that they had.
And again, when this comes up in a later episode, you might have watched that far, and it changes your opinion of what you chose here today.
Yeah. Just speak because again, and it's going to go up against other shows that probably have bad theme songs.
Yeah.
But again, because of the consistency of The Simpsons, that's why I went that way. Got nothing like I said, if I would have watched, like if Naruto would have kept the theme song that they had, because I was actually writing down when I was doing this, I was writing down that I was going for I was going to write down Naruto Shippuden. They changed that song. I didn't like it, so I went to The Simpsons. So it just had to do with the song that they changed to, because I felt like they went down.
I can't wait until you hear Bluebird.
Yeah. So then that's probably going to change it's not going to change my opinion right now because it's already written. But, all right, so Simpsons wins this category. Dave has punched about 3 holes into his computer desk right now. So, all right, the next category is character development. And this is one where, 35, 36 years, you do like there is like a little bit of development in the characters. Like they don't, especially like when it comes to like voices and like you finally get comfortable and then like the characters kind of change off a little bit. But there's consistent development in the characters of Naruto Shippuden to where like because it's more episodic.
Yeah.
And then like you see Naruto really develop. You see, Sasuke, when they find him, obviously Sasuke, develops. Sakura, she develops. The other characters.
Shikamaru.
Yeah. So there's a lot of character development there.
The Simpsons does not.
Not
as much.
Not as much. So that's why I'm just going to say Naruto Shippuden on this one. Because if I said Simpsons, I would be lying. But, all right, Sean?
No, I agree. Naruto has so much more character development than The Simpsons does. The Simpsons, like, they have minor development. Like, Homer becoming maybe a little smarter, but, like, consistently over seasons, like, Bart's the bratty kid, Lisa's the know-it-all little bratty girl, Marge is just a basic housewife, and Peter and Homer is the dumbish factory worker.
Yeah.
And it never really changes. Like, you got, Krusty the Crab.
Krusty the Clown.
Krusty the Clown.
Yeah. All right. Dave, go ahead. Even though we gave your boys the win here.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you guys up here and go with Naruto. I think their development and characters here is far superior than The Simpsons in every aspect and character development.
Okay. All right. 1-1. Dave feeling a little better now because Naruto Shippuden did get a victory. But when character development in a show that really is episodic, it's easier to do that than in a show. Even though 35 years they've been on, but it's still like the characters don't really get any older in The Simpsons. In Naruto, they do.
Yeah,
and they get a lot more mature. All right, voice acting. Now, we talked about, I think, in the Cartoon Classic, how with voice acting, like when the show first started out, Dan Castellaneta, who voiced Homer Simpson, he didn't really know how to voice the character. So for like the first several episodes, he did a Walter Matthau impression. And basically made Homer Simpson sound like Walter Matthau. But then he developed a voice for it. And Hank Azaria, the king of the Simpsons characters, because he voices several of them. Bart's voice. Now, Naruto Shippuden, the voice acting, because there's a lot of emotion that goes in those voices. Especially like with Naruto. But to me, well, I'm not going to give mine yet. I'm gonna go to Dave first.
I'm gonna go with Naruto Shippuden here. I think the voice acting is superior for dramatic storytelling and emotional complexity, especially if you watch it in Japanese, the original. The dub version does a very good job, but I think the Japanese version is fucking stellar. Yeah, I'm going with Naruto Shippuden here.
Okay.
With their more dramatic and emotional range.
All right. So,
and their intense performances when they're battling and stuff. I mean, you also have that.
So I went to Simpsons because to me, and again, maybe the only person that thinks this, I felt like Naruto himself, the voice sometimes, and I think it just might be like because he's still technically a kid, sometimes I felt like the voice was a little too whiny. So, and I feel like, again, I feel like the Simpsons voice actors for the Simpsons have really perfected those voices. So that's why I'm going with the Simpsons. All right, Sean, you have to agree with somebody.
I agree with Dave with Naruto here. I think there's just more variety and more range, of course. I do agree with what you say about the Simpsons voice actors coming into their own, because they did start off like not really knowing who to be or and then over time, they developed into their own character. But Naruto just has so much more room to expand, like story wise. I would assume, like, just Naruto. We're going with Naruto.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, again, like, because I mean, I gave my reason, and it is what it is. I mean, I do agree
Very good reason. I agree with what you said. With them coming into their own is very impressive on their part, but in my opinion, it's with the way Naruto is, with like calmer scenes, the battle scenes, the more aggressive scenes. There's just so much more ability for a voice actor to go than it was ever done for The Simpsons.
Yeah. I just feel like, and again, maybe it'll just grow on me and I just won't care, but I just felt like the Naruto character, like the voice was just way too whiny.
I gotcha. I could see that.
So like, and it was kind of just like nails on a chalkboard too.
I feel like once you get further into it, it gets better because he does become a little more mature. He is just a kid. And so like Black Clover, how Asta's super whiny and stuff, and in the beginning, so it's kind of the same. So when you get further in, that whining kind of stops, and he becomes more of a grown man,
right? And plus, also you kind of just get used to it, and it's just like Right now, I'm not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what we should get used to is the fact that Naruto Shippuden is up 2-1. They can win it here with cultural impact. I know, cultural impact. Obviously, Naruto has been on, like, the regular Naruto went for what, 700 episodes?
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
I don't know precise, but it's a lot.
Naruto Shippuden has been on for 9 seasons too. Or was on for 9 seasons. I don't know if it's still going. Simpsons, obviously, 35 years. Now, the thing about both of these shows is I feel like even though Naruto is kind of felt, there is a lot of an impact here in the States too, because anime has really grown. For people, and a lot more people like to watch anime now than probably cartoons, but it's also because like animated shows and cartoons kind of suck now. And anime really, I mean, there are some really bad anime, and I said this last week on Animated Showdown, even though it swept, I still disagree. I think Samurai Champloo's not good yet. But with Naruto Shippuden, it does feel, there is that cultural impact because anime is a very big culture. They have their own conventions, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Simpsons, though, it has that cultural impact of they've been on for 35 years. They're known everywhere. They're very popular. You do have people that, kind of, dress up as Simpsons characters for Halloween, but you also have people that dress up as Naruto himself for Halloween, I'm sure. I don't know if I've actually seen it, but I can believe that happens. They dress up as Naruto at conventions.
And a bunch of side characters. I mean, people love the side characters in Naruto.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so both have made an impact culturally over the years. Dave, I'm starting with you.
This is tough for me to say, but I mean, I'm going with the Simpsons here for cultural impact. I think they've been out for such a long time, and they've just came across so many generations that they've had more time to impact the culture. I think Naruto, it has a huge impact, and its impact is in growing with more fans coming to anime. But I feel that Simpsons has that slight edge in the impact.
Okay. All right. Sean, I'm going to you next.
I'm gonna go the other way and say Naruto. I think with it being an anime, it's like growing at a crazy rate, you know, because people can do it to any convention they really want to, you know. And I think The Simpsons, they have a very high cultural impact, but I think it's kind of like just steady now.
It's steadier now than it was.
Right, and I think just Naruto is just
Naruto's still
climbing,
but that's because also anime's kind of taken over the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's,
you know,
it's
like
starting to, yeah,
you know, like conventions, you know, it's just so much more
Halloween,
well known. Halloween.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand
I agree.
exactly what you're.
You know, just merchandise wise too, and I know that's one of the categories we have that's not listed.
Yeah,
but merchandise wise, and you know, you'll see more of like figures like these. I don't know if this is Naruto. It's probably not.
No,
like
that's
figures
Demon
like
Slayer.
that. Yeah, but so you know, like you'll see more of these type of figures than you do The Simpsons. But again, to me, that's just because of the culture of anime. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm gonna. It's just I'm not even like really like, oh, you know, hold on a second there, you know, you're completely wrong, because you're not.
Are you shocked that I went with the other way here, Doug?
I am, but I kind of had a feeling that because there has to be a little bit of drama here. I had a feeling that he was probably gonna go because I had actually kind of planned on going second, because I figured you were gonna say Naruto. Then I was gonna go, and then we were gonna leave it up to him.
It was a really hard choice for me because like Naruto, it has a climbing impact. Its impact is climbing, and it's, you know, it's a huge you know, impact. But I just feel like since The Simpsons been out so long, and it's one of the most influential TV shows that's been out there, it's really hard. It's really hard. Like, it's hard to compare, but I think it has that slight edge over Naruto, and that's why I picked it.
Okay. All right.
And it was very hard for me to pick that.
So I'm picking Simpsons just based on the fact, and like, you know, Sean said something about the action figures. If you go to like a lot of, now it's not necessarily going to be at like a store like a Target or a Walmart, because I don't even think they make those figures anymore. I do think that NECA has a contract with them, but if you go to like a lot of vintage toy stores that might still be around, they have a lot of Simpsons stuff.
Yeah,
like shelves full of them.
It's
now
just
that doesn't necessarily mean that they're popular, because you can get an overabundance of Simpsons figures and not be able to sell them. But a lot of stores sell them for like $10 a pop, and when they're that cheap, you are going to see, you know, people walk out with like 4 or 5 bags of them.
Yeah.
Now, but I went with the Simpsons just based on the fact that I feel like, yes, you know, like you said, they're kind of like, they haven't really like soared in popularity in a while, but I still feel like they're still like maybe a hair above Naruto Shippuden. Maybe not regular Naruto, but Naruto Shippuden at least. But I do feel like that the popularity of Naruto is still climbing up. I'm not having a seizure. I'm just like,
oh yeah, like even with these younger generations, like my daughter and her friends and her boyfriend and stuff, like they all started watching Naruto, and you know, and watching it and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. Like they rather watch that than the cartoons that are on TV. So
Well, yeah, because most of the cartoons that are on TV aren't that good.
Yeah.
And plus, your daughter's boyfriend's probably watching Naruto just so you don't kick his ass out of the house.
no, he actually was watching it before I even said anything.
Yeah.
So
But you look at your daughter and be like, I approve. All right.
Yep.
Wedding date
Yep.
better be set. Amanda's gonna come across the screen and just flip me off. Don't marry off my baby just yet. But all right. So for the first time in a while, we have to go to the 5th category. We haven't done this since episode 1 of Animated Showdown, and it was Bob's Burgers versus the Flintstones. Yes, Dave, you can go first. But let me get to it first. So I find it funny how when we started talking about the show, we were only on the air for like 35 minutes. And this has just been like such a debate that we're already hit the 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
All right. Memorable moments. Both shows, for the longevity that both of them have been on and for how many episodes each has. Because Naruto Shippuden, I think, 9 seasons?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay.
I can look it up to make sure, but
Yeah.
not precise.
Now, just because it's only been on for 9 seasons, I mean, it still has it's season 1's 50 something episodes.
Yeah, it's got a ton of episodes.
Okay. Now, it probably in 9 seasons probably equals as many episodes as the Simpsons did in 36 seasons. But there's a couple of key points I'm going to make here as far as like key moments. And obviously there's so many to name. For me in Naruto Shippuden, what the key moment is they are looking for Sasuke. And because Naruto's just like, look, he might be my enemy, but he is really my friend. And him and I have been through it all together. And I really need to find him. And when they find him, what is Sasuke say? Naruto, you are my enemy. I don't like you, and I want to kill you. So Naruto, who has gone through all this stuff to try to find this guy, and it broke Naruto's heart too, by the way. And it kind of did a number on Sakura too. The Simpsons, a couple of key moments is one, Bart runs away on Thanksgiving because he ruins Lisa's centerpiece. And so he gets punished, but then he runs away thinking that because Bart is selfish. But then like he learns a little bit that he shouldn't have done that. And like nobody really noticed that he was gone. Because that's one thing, like when little kids in cartoons run away, it's like, all right, well, parents are gonna get worried. They don't even notice sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they don't notice unless you walk out the front door and see, like, hey, I'm running away. I'll send somebody to burn the house down later. Or at least that's how it happens in real life. But then people notice. Also, another key moment in The Simpsons is, it involves Bart and Homer, where the judge, a substitute judge, sentences Bart and Homer to be handcuffed together because the judge feels like Bart's bad behavior is due to the fact that his father's an idiot. And then Marge gets involved and she cuts the rope that they're tied to together, and then she gets sentenced. And then the regular judge comes back and tells this judge to go stick it in her ear. Those are just a few. I mean, both shows have had several like key memorable moments. So judge accordingly. But Dave, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Naruto here. It has so many memorable moments. From the final showdown between Naruto and Sasuke, from Naruto's sensei dying, in a sacrifice to find out information. You got Asuma Sensei who also perishes, and uh, the side characters and Naruto's sensei Kakashi go out and seek revenge. That's a huge, huge story arc right there. That's amazing to watch. You also get to watch Naruto pretty much go against, a goddess as well. So, I mean, you get to see a lot of unforgettable moments. Madara showing up to fight the Shinobi Alliance. You got Sasuke versus his brother, which he always seeked vengeance on throughout the entire show, and you get to see that fight and go down, and yeah, you get to just see a lot of crazy and heartbreaking moments. You get to see great battles, and you get to see, sadness. You get to see happiness. You get to see Naruto save the village. You get to see him save the world as well. I mean, there's a lot that this show has to offer with moments.
Okay. I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to say The Simpsons because of there's so many moments and so many characters, and a lot of the characters on The Simpsons, even though they're side characters, provided so many of these great moments. I talked about before in the Cartoon Classic about how, when Principal Skinner and Miss Krabappel were supposed to get married, and then Skinner, was thinking about backing out of it, so Krabappel just said, "You know what? Go ahead and back out of it because, I don't want to do it either." And Homer, who is not necessarily Mr. Romeo, is trying to help him win Krabappel back. And Marge is telling Krabappel, don't take the guy back. Now, Marge and Homer don't know that, one is helping the other. But like when Homer whispers to Skinner and Skinner goes, "Edna, not being with you is like every minute I'm not with you is like 1 million kicks to the crotch." Like, to me, it's just like, because they provide a lot of not just memorable moments, but a lot of comedic, funny moments that are memorable. So that's why I went with The Simpsons. Sean, it is on you. Now, whatever happens here, they're both getting points.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's just who's going to get 10, who's going to get 5.
So this one was hard for me.
Okay. I mean, build up the drama as much as you want.
Nope. I only have one.
And you get to
explain it one way. I'm going with Naruto.
Okay.
Because I think the moments that they capture in that show are more impactful to the viewer than the Simpsons moments are to their viewers.
Okay.
Like I'm telling you, you watch all the way through Naruto, and you watch some of these moments where some of these characters get killed off and stuff. I shed tears. I shed tears watching that show.
I mean, it's a fair point. Again, like I probably just have to keep watching until like I realize, all right, well, it's actually, it's maybe the show is better than most of these other shows. I mean, they had to sweat there because this was very close.
Mm-hmm. Got me sweating over here.
Yeah. Now, what's funny is you guys each only picked Simpsons once. I only picked Naruto once.
Dang.
So, but it kind of evened out. Now there were more categories where I had Naruto Shippuden winning. Like I think I had him winning. I had him winning animation. I had him winning originality. And then Oh, that's actually it. But again, it's probably going to change as we go further into this thing. But yeah, so Naruto Shippuden gets 10 points, but The Simpsons still comes out with 5.
Not bad.
So they don't go away empty-handed here.
That was a tough one.
It was very tough. But it was one of the closer battles we've had in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It was a good battle.
Yeah.
I give it up to the Simpsons.
Yeah. Now, Dave, you can rest easy because they won. All right. So next week on Animated Hour of Power, we are going to have Celebrity Deathmatch versus Pee-wee's Playhouse, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Speed Racer, Life and Times of Juniper Lee versus Braceface, and the main event is Pokemon versus Teen Titans. Now, next week on this show, Animated Showdown, Episode 4, Samurai Pizza Cats versus Camp Candy, Huckleberry Hound Show versus Adventure Time, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo versus Flintstone Kids, and in the main event, it's Courage the Cowardly Dog versus the Muppet Babies.
Oh.
So that is next week. Eric will be back, so I will not have to do this again, at least for like a month and a half before he goes away for a month. Jerk. But yeah, so that is next week. But yeah, so all right, tonight we had Garfield and Friends beat Mummies Alive 3-1. One Piece swept Danny Phantom 3-0. Police Academy swept Cops 3-0. And in probably the biggest main event we've had so far, well, at least since Bob's Burgers and the Flintstones, Naruto Shippuden beats The Simpsons 3-2. Now, other category again, it really did depend on the categories.
Percent.
But I mean, it was something, and this is definitely the longest episode we've had in a while, or at least in a couple weeks. But all right, so that is that. Make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combined YouTube channel. That's where you're going to find everything. Also, so Saturdays we are live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesdays we are pre-recorded, but we will usually be on around noon. Then also like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. As we go live there, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Friday night. Listen to Dangle and Mindy on the Stabcast, Eric's Unscripted Sports Show, the Dizzle 97 Gaming Universe, that YouTube channel, and also on Twitch. Follow Sean, TCAX Reaper, on TikTok, Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCX Godsend 95. His blood pressure has gone down pretty much in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can breathe easy now.
Yeah, he can breathe easy now. He was not breathing. Well, I mean, he technically could have ended it in Cultural Impact if he wanted to, but he was trying to also prove. By the way, that's the first time you've gone with a cartoon. Well, actually, no, because you were pretty heavy with Avatar over Digimon.
Yeah.
But also,
I try to be as honest as possible. I mean,
yeah. So
even though Naruto's my favorite, I mean,
yeah,
I had to be honest.
Yeah. So all right, but that does it for tonight. We'll see everybody this upcoming Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So all right, later, everybody.
Later.
Have a good one.